So you've got a dog here in Victorville, and you want them to be a great companion, right? Someone you can happily and safely take with you, whether you're at home or out and about. Well, this guide is all about helping you find a fantastic local trainer who can help you do just that.
Here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with the basics of training, then get into finding and budgeting for a professional. After that, we'll talk about the local laws, what questions you absolutely have to ask, and finally, where you can go to enjoy life with your awesome, well-behaved dog.
All right, let's start at the beginning. Before you even start Googling trainers, it's really helpful to get a handle on the main idea behind good, modern training and the different ways it can be done. Okay, the most important thing to know is that modern, effective training is all about positive reinforcement. So instead of focusing on what your dog does wrong, you're rewarding them for what they do right. It's a humane way to train that builds a confident dog who actually wants to work with you. And that's exactly what you need for a reliable buddy, whether you're walking near the Mall of Victor Valley or just hanging out at home.
Now you've basically got two main options to choose from. Group classes are awesome for teaching your dog to focus on you, even with other dogs and people around. Plus, they're usually easier on the wallet. On the other hand, private lessons let a trainer come up with a plan that's just for your dog, tackling problems right where they happen, like barking in the backyard. There are also some more specialized formats out there. Board and train can be like a boot camp for dogs, while day training is a nice in-between option. But, no matter which format you pick, the real key to success is you. A good trainer should be teaching you how to keep up the skills for the long haul.
Okay, so you know what you're looking for in terms of training style, but how do you tell who's a real professional? Well, the secret is in their credentials. I know, these letters look a bit like alphabet soup, but they're really your proof that a trainer is committed to ongoing education and uses humane methods. Things like CPD-TK or KPA-CTP mean that a trainer has actually passed some tough exams about how dogs learn. And if you're dealing with more serious issues like fear or aggression, a credential like CBC-CKA is a really strong sign you've found an expert. Of course, training is definitely an investment, so getting a feel for the typical costs right here in Victorville will help you figure out what works for your budget. So let's talk numbers. A 6-week group class is usually going to be somewhere between $150 and $275. A single private lesson will run you about $90 to $150. A little tip, keep an eye out for packages. Trainers often offer a bundle of 4 to 6 sessions, and that can end up being a much better value than just paying lesson by lesson. Being a responsible dog owner is also about being a good neighbor. And a big part of that is knowing and following the local rules. It keeps everyone, and every dog, safe and happy. This is a really important one in Victorville. Anytime you're in a public space, parks, sidewalks, trails, you name it, your dog has to be on a leash that's no more than 6 feet long. The only time that doesn't apply is if you're inside a fenced off-leash dog park. So yeah, it's probably best to leave that long, retractable leash at home for your walks around town. Besides the leash law, there are a few other things to keep in mind. State law says your dog needs a current rabies vaccine. You also need to get a dog license from San Bernardino County, and they'll ask for proof of that vaccination. And here's a good fact to know. While trainers don't need some special state certification, they do need a regular City of Victorville business license to operate legally. Okay, so you've done your homework and you've found a few trainers you're interested in. Now it's time to talk to them. Having a few key questions ready to go will make you feel much more confident about making that final choice. Just think of this as your little interview guide. You want to double check that they use positive reinforcement. You'll ask about their credentials. You'll want to hear how they'd make a plan just for your dog. And if you're dealing with bigger behavior challenges, it's a really good sign if they say they're happy to work with your vet. It shows they're looking at the whole picture. So once you and your dog start learning all these new skills, the really fun part starts. You get to go out and actually use them and enjoy everything Victorville has to offer. These local spots are just perfect for practice. The Victorville Dog Park at Hook Park is the ideal place to work on off-leash skills like recall in a safe area. And the Mojave River Walk, it's an amazing spot to practice walking nicely on a leash with all sorts of real-world distractions. Oh, and remember, San Bernardino County Animal Care is where you'll go for your dog license and vaccination information. Putting time into training is about so much more than just getting your dog to sit or stay. It's about building a real connection and understanding. It makes for a happier, more confident dog and, honestly, a much less stressed you. We hope you have a great time on your training journey and get to feel that simple joy of a relaxed walk along the Riverwalk or a calm afternoon at home with your best friend.